All right. Good morning, traders. Today is August 29th. By the way, Monday, the markets are closed. We're closed as well. Okay. Good morning, and thank you for being here. Hey, I want to thank everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you for subscribing to my content, following my content, leaving likes, leaving kind comments, leaving hearts, anything out there that gives me some feedback. I love that. Thank you so much. All right. Appreciate that. I don't take that for granted. Thank you for following me on my trading journey. I try to provide actionable, profitable content every single day. Thank you. I appreciate that. You are valued. All right. I know there's a lot of you out there. Okay. So thank you so much. All right. Let's drill down. Let's take a look at the markets today. All right. Today is 29th. All right. Thanks for being here. My SPY pivot, 647.30. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. IWM made a new rally high yesterday. IWM, FNGU, Diamond down, QQQ, all made higher highs and higher lows, closing over bullish traps over their 17. EMA, SPY made a new all-time high. It closed with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. I will be looking for a continuation of the 10-minute uptrend. Although Fridays are kind of hinky, all right, because a lot of options expire on Friday, so they tend to try to profit the most. I'm going to just say it that way, okay? So look for the end of day on SPY to probably about 2:30, maybe 2 o'clock, maybe even 1:30. Pin it to that number, and then that's it for the rest of the day. So if you want to start your 3-day weekend early, there's a good chance that they're going to pin it to a number and just leave it there. All right? Just saying, if you want to start your weekend early. Although I do treasure all of the time we spend together. Okay? So, again, 2-hour uptrend, 10-minute uptrend. Silver in an uptrend, made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Gold, same thing. Uptrend, higher high, higher low, closing over the bullish trap over the 17 USO. Daily downtrend, made an outside day. That's a higher high and a lower low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG, higher high, higher low, closing over a bullish cross, but under the 17 EMA. US dollar index continues the downtrend, closed near the 97.85 area. SPY-MEX pain for today, 640, with a put-to-call ratio of about 2 2/3 puts for each call that expires today. Okay, they got a little star next to them. All right, that means they're building out a launch pad. All right, all of these are in uptrends over the 17 EMAs. All of these are in downtrends under the 17 EMAs. If they have a little star next to them, they're building out a platform for another leg lower. Okay, so these are the bears, these are the bulls. Downtrends here, uptrends there. Okay, in case you want to read this. How I trade these, I would look for 10-minute uptrend over VWAP, and that would be my clue right there. 10-minute uptrend over VWAP for any one of these doing the breakout dance. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. Okay, SPY. All right, pivot today. All right, again, 647.30. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. We have a green erases red entry over 649.30. I got to tell you, yesterday, 649.50, saw a lot of bears show up. I don't know if we didn't have any bulls left or what happened, but 649.50 seemed to be a little bit of a magic number, almost like they were taking their profits before we shot through 650 and failed. I don't know. I just saw it yesterday, so I'm just repeating what I said. I'm going to share with you what I observed. All right, so 649.50 seemed to be some profit taking. All right, so if we get up over it, there may be a retracement back underneath 649.50. All right, so again, SPY pivot 647.30. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. First green erases red entry 649.30. Okay, so I just want to remind you, there is some resistance up above there. All right, Might not be the best trade. Maybe wait till price transitions over that 649.50 and holds the higher ground. All right, wait for it to hold the higher ground, like over 6 10-minute candles holding over the higher ground. Then, okay, I would probably think about continuing with my longs up there. Okay, 650 is a big fat whole round number. All right, there will be a lot of psychological profit taking in that area. All right, that is a number that people tend to take profit at. Okay, so I'm just saying that may be some resistance. Okay, unless you see it hold, might want to just hold off and let's see if it holds up there. Okay, just I'm sharing with you what I observed. All right, so there's a SPY game plan, and when we got 7 days till expiration. This is what I like. 7 days till expiration. Friday options on the multiple of 5. $3 to $15 out of the money strikes. Okay, 14 days till expiration. Friday options on the multiple of 5. $3 to $15 out of the money strikes. I like. All right. If you didn't hear this once, if you didn't hear it 50 times, okay, I'm going to drill it till we get it. Okay? 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, inside 2-hour uptrends that are inside daily uptrends, inside weekly uptrends, inside monthly uptrends. Okay? That's my favorite trade right now. Got all the time frames pushing and supporting price action higher. Okay? That's what I like. 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. I especially like it when they're breaking up and away over VWAP. Okay, so there's SPY. Okay, I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. All right, I like them when they're breaking down and away from VWAP. Okay, so I'm just saying we have a red erases green entry down here, 645 below that. Okay, that would be a red erases green entry. I want to share something with you right now that I share with the members. Okay, and it's called the VZO. Okay, and if you remember back on the pullback where price dipped back to the 8 EMA. Okay, we're going to go to the 2-day chart. We're going to pick up a clean chart. Well, this one will work. All right, you can see the pattern. Up and away. As soon as they get under the 9 EMA, they make a little red nug down here, pulling back to either the 17 or the 8 EMA. Okay? See the pattern? All right? See the pattern and the pattern and the pattern? Looks like to me we're doing another wave. That's what it looks like to me. So look for this to top out and then produce another little red nug down here, maybe in the near future. We'll see what happens, okay? See the waves of price action. Okay, every time you see a price fail to close, okay, up here over the 9 EMA, it seems like we get one of these little red nugs down here where it's a pullback in the price action down to the 17 or the 8 EMA. Okay, just keep an eye on this. This is the 2-day chart, all right? And I'm noticing the pattern is starting to repeat itself yet again, all right? Just want to share that in case you want to keep an eye on something else, like you don't already have enough to keep an eye on. All right, so there's SPY. Let's go to the 10-minute, all right? 10-minute yesterday, closed, 10-minute uptrend. See right there. The 3 EMA on top of the 8 EMA. All three price action candles, 8 EMA, 3 EMA, all up over the 17. Okay? How did we make money yesterday? Well, we traded the 10-minute uptrend right here. Okay? We traded it from here up, and then we traded it from here up. Okay? 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. It's a beautiful thing. All right? So there's price action right there. 10-minute uptrend. That's how we made money yesterday. We love this trade. We're very good at it, and we continue with what we're good at, okay? Things we're not good at is chop, all right? So might be a good idea to sit out, chop. But if you got that 10-minute uptrend, that would be opportunity for us. All right. So there's SPY 10-minute closing with a 10-minute uptrend. So I will look for continuation of the 10-minute uptrend this morning. I don't want any big topping wick candles. Okay. See, that's got more wick than body and tail. Bears controlled that candle. I don't want a candle where bears control it. All right. I want a candle where bulls have control. Okay. So I want a big green candle. Okay. That one's not bad, but you got a lot of wick that precedes it showing me bears showed up there. Okay. Don't want a red candle because obviously bulls had no control in the red candle. All right. I don't want a doji and I don't want a spinning top because that just shows me bulls and bears agree on price. And when you're trading options, the last thing you want to see is copacetic. All right, because that means nothing's going to happen except for your option just decays. All right, during that time where they're copacetic with where price is. Okay, so no spinning tops, no dojis, no big topping wick candles. Okay, more wick than body and tail. Those aren't my candles. Again, spinning tops and dojis means price probably not moving. We don't like those either, okay? Because all they do is you just get theta decay, all right? When you get that theta decay, it's hard to fight that. You constantly have to double down to keep your price relevant or your cost basis relevant to the price action ahead of you, all right? And we don't like red candles because obviously bulls, all right, bulls are not in control, okay? So we like decent green candles, all right? That's what we're looking for that continuation. So there's SPY on the 2-hour chart. Okay, let's just pick up a different one here, okay? 2-hour chart right here. 2 hours, see the price and the 3 EMA up over the 8 EMA, okay? We're in an uptrend on the 2-hour chart. So we want that 10-minute uptrend inside the 2-hour uptrend. On the daily chart, again, we made new all-time high yesterday. Doesn't get any better than that, all right? All right, just drop the mic. Enough said. New all-time high. Yes, that's definitely bullish. You can't be not bullish making new all-time highs, okay? Unless it's just one big spike up. And you're not going to get that in an index with 500 different products inside it. Okay, so there's SPY. Okay, new all-time high. Uptrend. I see no signs of exhaustion yet, but we are approaching the big fat whole round number, 650, all right? Something to be aware of. Look for price to get up and hold, okay? And take profits going into that number. That's my plan, all right? That's my plan. You do what you want, but that's what I think I want to do, all right? I want to take profits going into the number, and then I want to see it get up there and hold. So we'll see what happens. There's SPY. Daily chart, uptrend. Weekly chart. See it again. Candles on top of the 3. 3 on top of the 8. Okay, all 3 of them on top of the rising 17. Bullish uptrend. We're in uptrends, okay? Okay, so no need to buy puts if we're in uptrends, okay? So there's SPY, weekly chart, uptrend, monthly chart. Again, another green candle, okay? Price action, all right? See the 3 on top of the 8, price on top of the 3. All of those, all 3 over the rising 17. That's bullish. That's in an uptrend. There's SPY, monthly chart, uptrend. All right, let's go take a look at QQQ. QQQ yesterday, 10-minute chart. Okay, another 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. Beautiful thing. That's what we traded. Okay, we traded this as well as the SPY. Made money, all right? As price moved up, okay? Price action, QQQ, 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. We like that. All right, price, 10-minute uptrend going into the close, just barely. I'm going to call it more consolidation because it moved from here over to here with very little change, okay? So I'm going to call it 10-minute consolidation for the QQQ. Look for a breakout of that consolidation. Of course, we're pulling back to VWAP. So not quite got it there on QQQ. There's the 10-minute chart. 2-hour chart, definitely an uptrend. You got the price candles up over the 3 EMA, price in the 3 over the 8. All three of them up over the rising 17, okay? QQQ. Daily chart. Again, you got price in the 3 up over the 8, over the 17. Uptrend coming into QQQ, okay? Got higher lows. See the low? Got higher lows. See the high? Making higher highs. So QQQ, daily uptrend. Weekly uptrend. Monthly uptrend, okay? There's QQQ. Let's take a look at the game plan. Okay, the pivot for QQQ. 574.80. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Red erases green. Underneath, 572.60. See if we can get the green one. Green erases red over 577.70. Okay, that's a green erases red entry. And what do I like for options? Same thing. Okay, I like 7 days till expiration. Friday options on the multiple of 5 with strikes between $2 and $10 out of the money. Same thing, 14 days till expiration. Friday options on the multiple of 5 with strikes, $2 to $10 out of the money strikes, okay? I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. If Inspire QQQ, a uptrend happens to manifest down here where it breaks the 10-minute bullish rubber band candle, I will not be opposed to trading that. It means I will be interested in trading that 10-minute uptrend, okay? Long before it reaches the green erases red entry, okay? So you don't have to wait for a green erases red entry. You can happen to capture one down here if you break the bullish 10-minute rubber band candle on the 10-minute chart, okay? Same thing with bearish, all right? If I break a 10-minute bearish rubber band candle and it happens to occur up here or up here, long before the red erases green entry down here, okay? I'm not opposed to trading that. I just want to say the markets are bullish, okay? I'm not real fond of going counter trend, all right? Counter trend is a good way to get hurt, okay? I'm not real fond of it. Doesn't mean I won't trade it. I'm just saying if you're going to trade it, be careful because you have all of those higher time frames are in bullish uptrends. Your downtrend may be cut short, all right? Just saying, so that way you're prepared for disappointment when the downtrends don't work out, okay? Because we're in a bullish market. So there's QQQ game plan, okay? Let's take a look at IWM. Look at it on the daily chart. Okay, this is the quad lines, April low, IWM, new rally high, okay? Closing over the bullish trap over the 17, up in quadrant 4 and in an uptrend. IWM, new rally high, diamond down. Yesterday, higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap over the 17 EMA, top of quadrant 4, bullish and in an uptrend, okay? Let's take a look at FNGU. Okay, that's a nice candle. I hope that's not an exhaustion candle, but that's a really nice candle. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17 EMA, top of quadrant 4. That's bullish, but still in a downtrend. Okay, but it's in a downtrend that's just not working. Okay, it's not working. Okay, in other words, since we started the downtrend, see this little tail down there that pokes below the 17, well, we made a lower low, okay? So that put us in the downtrend. But ever since making this candle, price has not been moving down. It moved up. We had to pull back to the same area. Still haven't made a lower low. Price action still continues either to the right or to the upside, okay? So there's FNGU in a downtrend that's not working. Consolidating up here at the top of quadrant 4, that is bullish. All right, let's look at our technicals. T2101. Notice the breadth of the market is increasing. It means they are ramping up, buying, okay, pushing price up higher. See the breath coming into the market? They are ramping up. Okay, they're moving up. It means more breath, more wind in the sails. All right, for this bullish momentum. Okay, price may not be moving far, but they are ramping up the breath. Okay, pushing more and more wind into the sails. Okay, continuing to push higher. So it's getting stronger. All right, right there. The breath is growing. T2122 spent the day in the buy zone. Okay, not a bad place to be after we were up in the overbought zone, landing in the top of the buy zone area or around here. Really nice, like that. That's bullish up there. T2123. Okay, new rally high for T2123. Okay, again, got a bullish gap up. Okay, notice the bears couldn't fill the bullish gap by noon. Okay, that is a bullish outlook. Same thing the day before. Same thing the day before that. Okay, this is bullish. See the market consolidating over prior consolidation. That's bullish. We're up over the 200 SMA. That's bullish. Making a new rally high from our April. That's bullish. T2123, bullish and in an uptrend on the 15-minute chart. Okay, let's take a look at the 3-bar. This is the 3-bar chart, okay? This right here is the all-time high. This is the 200 SMA. We are over the 200 SMA. That's bullish. This is all we have left. This little space between, see the candle bars and that green line is all that's left between us making new all-time highs for T2123. Okay, not much left here, okay? I would suspect that we make new all-time highs. Okay, brought to you by inflation, okay? Consumer in us, we hate inflation, okay? But let me just say, the investor in us, that means more revenue coming in on the top line, hopefully the bottom line, higher earnings, hence bigger price point, okay? Bigger price point means new all-time highs. T2123, there you go. Close to making new all-time highs right there, okay? That's very close. And I said, once we get through all of this consolidation right here, all that's left is the all-time highs, okay? So that's what we'll be dealing with today and next week, those all-time highs. I think they print new all-time highs, T2123. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. Price action yesterday, notice, green from the beginning to the end, all right? Consistent buying going on, okay? Up over the 15-minute 200 SMA, that's bullish. 15-minute is in bullish and in an uptrend on the FNGU. Okay, you can see price moves up and holding this higher ground. Looking like a consolidation pattern. Notice price goes up, pulls back, up, pulls back, up. Look for the little half back and then a rip to the upside. Hopefully, that's what we get. Okay, FNGU going through the consolidation pattern up here at the highs. Okay, FNGU in a downtrend on the daily chart. Okay, but let me just say it's a downtrend that's not working. All right, just want to caveat that. Okay, so there's FNGU. Let's go back over here and let's look at silver and gold. Silver, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17 EMA, is in an uptrend, okay? Right here, top of quadrant 4, that's bullish and in an uptrend, silver. Gold, same thing. Gold holding the plank up here. That's a show of strength. Okay, 4 months straight. Over 300. Okay, gold in an uptrend and bullish top of quadrant 4. This is winding up for a breakout. Okay, there's gold. That's what it looks like to me. All right. Let's take a look at USO. Okay, USO got a habit of moving up and giving it up. Okay, yesterday's candle. Looking like Outside day, lower high, higher low, closing over the trap, over the 17. Still in a downtrend, still neutral. It's not ready yet. Still not ready yet, USO. Okay, so let's take a look at UNG. UNG is at the bottom of quadrant 1, okay, that's bearish, and we're in a downtrend. Still haven't made a higher high. They have to take out this high right here in order to negate the downtrend. Doesn't look like it's going to happen for a long, long time. There's UNG. And isn't this crazy, okay? With all the inflation going on, one of our best resources for energy is at an all-time low. Something freaky going on there. Something stinks, you know? You get it? Natural gas. They put that odor in the gas, you know? So you know you've got a gas leak. Okay, so UNG down here at the bottom of quadrant 1. Okay? Let's take a look at economic package. All right, economic package. Max pain for today, 640 for SPY options. Okay, 640. Put to call ratio, 2.65. So that's 2 2/3 puts for each call that expires today. Remember, index options expire at 4:15. Okay, while security options expire at 4. Okay. It will probably be a day without, how am I going to say it? Without any highlights. It'll probably feel like a normal day. There'll be a lot of guys, all right, in the main office taking on a 4-day weekend. They'll be stretching the 3-day weekend into a 4-day weekend. All right, so what you're going to get is the interns, the amateurs, the volunteers are probably going to be taking over today, or probably running the shop today, okay? While the professionals, all right, the veterans, are all taking a 4-day weekend, all right? Just saying, that's probably the way price action is going to perform today, all right? So there's max pain. Dollar's in a downtrend, all right? And we closed yesterday right about this area here, about 97.89 or 897, yeah, about 97.89 area. Still in a downtrend, okay? In a bear flag. Notice price moves down and over to the right. Earnings report. All right, Alibaba's going to report this morning, and they got $276 billion, okay? Everybody else is notables, all right? They're familiar names, but not going to move the markets, okay? Alibaba's probably the big one for today, okay? And they report in the morning, all right? Other than that, let me see if I can get next week. Can't get anything there. I can't move up, all right? It would be nice to see next week, but they won't let me. All right, on the economic calendar, we had international trade in goods and services. I got to say, actually just international trade in goods. I looked at the numbers, and it looks like we're increasing in imports and exports, okay, which for me, that's a sign of economy growing if we got more imports and exports. Because if you need more imports, then you're obviously selling product off the shelf. And if you need more exports, that means we're probably delivering more goods and services out of the country. So both of those equal growth, all right, in the economy. And that's a good sign. Personal income and outlays, I didn't see anything that was out of line. Everything was well within the consensus range on personal income and outlays. So no surprises there. Retail inventories, haven't seen anything. Wholesale inventories, haven't seen anything. PMI 945 today. Consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. And a rig count at 1. That's it, all right? All right, that's it for me for today. I'll see you guys in about 10-15 minutes, and we'll open up the markets, okay? Thank you for hanging out with me this morning.